Alrighty, welcome to Bentley's Backwoods Bushcraft. And I have two little small tins. And I'm going to make a little survival kit out of them. So I'm going to start. I'm just going to take this one, turn it upside down, just like that, because when it opens up, I want one to open one way and one to open the other direction, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to place some JB weld on them. Like so. Mix that up nice and there we go. Make sure that gets spread all over. Looks like I put just enough on there too. Cool. Alrighty. And let's see. Alright. And what I'm going to do is, then I'm going to take the other one, place it on top. I'm going to wrap those up with some cordage real quick, and I'll get right back with you. Alrighty, so I just wrapped that up with a little bit of cordage just to kind of put a little bit of pressure on it. And I'm going to set and let that dry. Welcome to Bentley's Backwoods Bushcraft. And of course, this will never be complete. And you can always come up with other things to put in and some things to take out, but this is going to be a video on a small EDC pack, and I've made 6 of these, 3 from the blue containers and 3 in the green containers, and there's 50 items in here. And it covers basic needs, except for I don't have cover in here. I don't have anything that you can actually make a shelter. Nothing will fit inside there for cover, and also get these items in there. There's 50 items, and I will go through each one of these items individually and talk a little bit about the purpose for the items, or my general idea for the items. Now, I will say from the get-go, I believe that I have 2 items in these 50 items that I have never seen in another kit like this. Now, when I get to those 2 items, I'll discuss them, but I could be wrong, but I do believe that there's 2 items sitting there that I have not seen before in any other EDC kit. So let's begin. Alrighty, we're going to begin in no general concept here. Basically, the way I put them into this packaging. The container, we'll start out with the container. It's a simple clear package container here I got from the Dollar Tree, and there, it clips together like this. They came in a 3-pack for $1, so I got 3 of these containers for $1. This will actually be used as a container. So this is one of the 5 C's is a container. Now, granted, it's not metal, so you wouldn't be able to, probably wouldn't be able to boil water, not directly. I mean, you may be able to sit it near but I'm not 100% sure. It is plastic, so but it is a container. So a couple Band-Aids, which is extremely common in any kit, just in case you get a boo-boo. So we'll put those down in there. Next, I got this. It originally was a ruler, but you can see it's a little magnifying glass lens. This is a good fire starter to start fire with. We'll put that in there. And this, this is two coffee filters to filter water, and that's really common to see in a kit. Let's see here. Alright, this is a cranberry apple tea bag. There's two of them in there. It smells really good. It's a tea bag, a couple tea bags for tea. Now, personally, you can't have tea without at least a little sugar, for me. So anyway, here's a little packet of sugar. That'll go in there. And then you have a salt and a pepper. Gotta have salt and a pepper. And this is a chicken flavor packet from a ramen noodle. So I've got one of those in there. And let's continue on. And okay, we'll go with 3 zip ties. Now, of course, the uses for zip ties are many, and your imagination can run wild for you on that one. Those 3 go in there. And I have a little bread tie. Let's see here. Okay, wrapped up in this piece of duct tape is a razor blade, which is a cutting tool. So we have that. We have the cutting tool, and we have the container, and then we have let's see, what else do we come next here? Okay, here is a P38. It's a can opener, a little small military can opener. These things are fantastic, and I think every kit needs to have at least one of those. Okay, so let's go over here to the combustion for a little bit, and let's talk about some of this combustion, which is another C. I have, let's see, 4 matches, and I dripped a little bit of wax, which is actually crayon, on top of the matches so that they didn't actually accidentally strike. There's also a nail emery board, which can be used as a striker. It can also be used like sandpaper, but we've got that in there. Next, I have the ever popular lighter, because this is the perfect and most efficient and effective way to start fire. So I want to make sure that that's taken care of. Next, we have what I've handmade candle match, and all this is a match which I dipped the tip into wax so that it's less likely to strike, and I wrapped paper towel around it and dipped it into wax as well, and so there we have a little wax candle, self-starting wax candle. We'll set that over. We have a piece of char cloth, which I actually made myself, but I love char cloth, and as far as I'm concerned, for me, without the obvious lighter, char cloth is my favorite way of starting fire in a more primitive manner. Next, we have a Kim light, and It's really small Kimlite. It fits really nice into this pack, and I just love Kimlites, so who doesn't need a Kimlite? Here is 21 feet of jute twine. Now this could be used as cordage, which is another of the 5 C's. You could use it as fire starter, but there's 21 feet here, which in an emergency situation is plenty to get a shelter set up. If you were needing a tarp or something, a line for a tarp or whatever. But there's 21 feet of cordage there. Next we have a snare. This is a single snare along with the toggle and the cordage to go with it. So this is one complete snare set that if necessary I could at least set up one snare in hopes to catch food. And let's see here, we have a flashlight, and at the back of it here is a bottle opener. It fits very well. When I first purchased them, I was a little concerned of whether they would fit in there, whether I'd have to cut this bottle opener off, but I don't have to. It fits in there very nicely. Now, you know, how many times do you actually have to have a bottle opener nowadays? You know, really not necessary, I think, at this point. But it was added onto the flashlight, and I think it's just a bonus because it fits. Next, we have a couple pieces of sandpaper, which fits into the lid, and again, this could be used to help start matches. It can be used to sand down small twigs to create tinder. It can be used for multiple uses. This is one of the 2 items, and this here. These are the 2 items that I personally have not seen in another kit, so I'm going to talk about those last. Next is a small, very small tube of super glue, and mainly, and I'm sure there's many other uses, but mainly this is for medical, for cuts. This will temporarily seal up some pretty decent cuts. I know, I've used it. I was a professional fighter for many years, and I have actually used super glue to seal up wounds. Next we have 12 feet of dental floss, and again, this could be used as simple dental floss for hygiene, but also it's a massively fantastic cordage. So there's 12 feet of dental floss. Okay, we are going to talk about this last section here, which is a fishing kit. Now, this is a pair, this is a really small, just a foot only pantyhose. Now this is one of the items that I have not seen before. Now this is the pantyhose. Now this one I have specifically used for water filtration, is a small pantyhose used for water filtration. But this one I am using as a container to hold my fishing kit. So, which could also still be used as water filtration if need be, but we're going to hold that, set that right there, and talk about our small fishing kit, and then I will get to this last item. And I have 2 hooks and a swivel wrapped up in this nice little piece of tape that will go in there. I have 2 red beads, which in of themselves could be actually used as a lure, because fish do tend to go for that shape plus the color, so they could be used actual for lures. Here is one artificial lure, very small. The smaller the better. Got that in there. Now this one is another lure, but this one isn't technically a real fishing lure. I kind of worked this into a fishing lure. And if you've seen some of my other videos, this is actually a piece of plastic that came off of a ball. It was like formed, they had these all over the ball, and it was some kind of a little, you know, wiggly ball type thing. Well, I noticed that these look a lot like fishing lures, so I bought a couple of the balls, and I took and I cut all of these little tentacles off of it, and now I use them as fishing lures. So this could be used as a fishing lure. There you go. Tell me what kind of, you know, any respectable fish would want that. So there's that one. I have 2 small sinkers going there. I have 1 jig head hook. This one happens to be pink, but just a very small jig head hook in there. I have 3 screw eyelets, which placed on a stick will make a nice little fishing pole. Go in there. I believe this, let me think, I think this is 12 feet. I think this is 12 feet of fishing line that's wrapped with 2 bread ties and a couple small pieces of tape just to keep it formed. But there's plenty of fishing line there to fish off the bank, and an earplug, which will be used as a float, a little bobber. And I have seen this before, so this one isn't horribly unique. Now, that all gets wrapped up. And sealed up with a piece of tape. And I guess it's possible we could use that tape for something, but mainly it's there just to keep this all together in this nice little fishing kit right there. And lastly is this right here. Inside here are 2 sparklers. That's right, sparklers. I cut the metal piece off so that it would fit inside my container, but sparklers are magnesium. It's fire starting. So, and I have not, and I could be wrong, but I do believe I have never seen a couple sparklers in a kit like this. So here are 2 small sparklers, and all you need to do is you would take them out. You could crush them up and crush it up, and it makes little magnesium dust, and there you are to help start fire. So that is the complete kit. I've got those 2, and these 3 here, and of course the one that originally had all the stuff in it. Now, I cannot be 100% positive that all 6 of these kits hold the exact items. 1 or 2 of those may be missing 1 item or 2 items, and I haven't gone through all of them to count each item to make sure, because when I got the stuff, I would separate it as much as I could amongst these 6, and I didn't always have 6 of everything to start with. So I am pretty sure that all 6 of these have those items in it. But it is possible that a green one or 2 may be missing an item or 2. But that is these 6 containers, the EDCs, and I'd like for everybody to give me your opinion on them. Tell me what you think about the items that are in it. really can't fit anything else in these kits unless it was really, really thin or really, really small. But if you want to give me some suggestions of what maybe I could put in there, something I could remove and add something else, feel free. You know, like I said, it covers the 5 C's except for cover. You know, there's no way I can get a tarp in there or anything else. Even a small, one of those really cheap, small, thin plastic rain ponchos wouldn't fit in there with all this stuff. But I would like feedback on this, and enjoy the outdoors.